Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. It's Bayern Munich versus Manchester United in the Champions League. I hope you're all excited for this one. I think there's a bit of trepidation. I sort of understand it, but you know what? There's a lot of excitement as well. It is Manchester United back in the Champions League against the mighty Bayern Munich. And we may be depleted, but we aren't defeated yet. And I'm pretty happy with the Manchester United lineup. You can, well, let's get it on the screen to start off with. Let's have a look at that. We're sponsored by Manscaped, but we'll talk about that in a moment because I just want to pause on this United lineup, which, to be honest with you, I've just been watching Seb training and just driving back there. Talk Sport was on, and Darren Bent had said that United's back four is disgusting. And I'm sort of like, well, what else are we supposed to do, Darren? I mean, we've got nobody else. I don't know whether it was the Maguire hype train. He's injured, mate. Varane is injured. Luke Shaw is injured. Wan-Bissaka is injured. Malacia is injured. Like, what do you want us to do? Put Johnny Evans in there? I mean, how can it be a disgusting back four when it's literally the only back four that we can put out there? So it is what it is in relation to the back four. The midfield three is interesting, but I think the most exciting thing is to see Pellistri in the side. I think for a long time we've been sort of thinking, well, you know what, what's he gonna do with that midfield? What's he gonna do with that defence? It's funny actually, because in the preview I actually said that Scott McTominay surely has to play in this game. And he doesn't pick him. So in the one game, I need to put my glasses on. The one game I probably would have put Scott McTominay in, and he doesn't put him in because he's gone with Eriksen, Bruno, and Casemiro as a midfield three. And to be honest with you, I sort of do get that. I thought anybody who wanted Scott McTominay to play is just because he's got defensive capabilities. He was shocking against Brighton, so I can sort of understand why he's not done him. But Pellistri is not a player I think Ten Hag is a big fan of. So to throw him into a game like this, Pellistri is definitely a fan of ours. He's definitely a fan of the fan base. What an opportunity. I mean, Jadon Sancho sat at home playing FIFA a couple of hours ago. Anthony's probably still back in Brazil. The opportunity's fallen into your lap, Pellistri, and let's hope he can take it. Rasmus Højlund as well. He's in the team. And Rashford, of course, completes that front three. So Adam Edwards says we've got nothing to lose. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, of course. I sort of agree. I sort of agree. I think in a game like this, you've got opportunities all over the pitch, but I've said it. I don't expect us to win this game. So I have to say, I don't expect us to win. I want us not to lose. I think Bayern Munich, if we look at their lineup, it's stronger than ours, as we can see. It's a strong lineup for Bayern, and I can't read that. It's too small. That's what she said. I can't read it. I'll have to get it up. Galatasaray 2-2 with Copenhagen could be a very good result for us, by the way. Galatasaray and Copenhagen kicked off a little bit earlier than us. That'd be a great result for us. Copenhagen actually were winning 2-0, which would have been an even better result. So, as I say, this Bayern Munich game may be big, and it is big, but in context of the wider group, I think we'll be absolutely fine. But the team for Bayern, as you can see, Ulrich in goal, Lehmer, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, Davies, Kimmich, Goretzka, Sane, Musiala, Gnabry and Kane. That's a stronger team, actually, with Musiala in it than Muller, in my opinion, these days. But look, it's a strong Bayern Munich side. I'm sure Harry Maguire is going to be really motivated. I expect them to win. Of course, I expect them to win. But I think what we've got to do is just play well today. I don't want to lose, but we've got to play well. And Lamar against Rashford could be interesting, Atty. I agree. We've got to play well. Everybody's got to put a shift in. You can't see those heads dropping like a bloody Henry VIII wedding. We've got to see those heads on shoulders and for 90 minutes. Hi, Mark. Keep the good work up. Just hope we put in a good performance. Exactly, Ashley. And thank you very much for being a member for 7 months. I really appreciate that. Right. Let's get down to some business here. As you can see, we're sponsored by Manscaped on the show. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. This is the beard trimmer. This is what this is. Brand new product from Manscaped. They do the one downstairs, the lawnmower, which is for around your balls, trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TUS. They do one for your balls, the weed whacker for your nose, and this is brilliant. It's so powerful. It's absolutely incredible. It's not been out for that long, and it's absolutely fantastic. 10 different lengths for you. I've gone with a 0.5 this morning, so there's not a lot there, but you can, you know, if you fancy a bit more, you can go like 1, 2 and all that shit. 20% off, fantastic products. They really are. Delivered to your door, 20% off with the code TUS. If you've got birthdays, Christmases, or you just want to treat yourself, trust me, I've had plenty of beard trimmers in my life, and this is without doubt the best I've ever had. It's incredible. So big shout out to Manscaped. Codes TUS. You can scan the QR code next to me, or you can go through the link in the video description. Big shout out to them. Yeah, what's your score prediction, Mark? Well, I think I've gone Bayern Munich to win 2-0. And that's how much of a task I think it is for Manchester United. I don't think that I really don't think that it's a negative thing to be saying that Manchester United are going to lose a game. I hate to do it. I always predict we're going to win. We're Manchester United. But when you look at the last 10 years, then I think that realistically we have fallen away in the big arena. We don't qualify for the Champions League all the time. And that's not to say that Bayern Munich go and win the Champions League every year, but they're there every year because they win the Bundesliga every year. So I think that to say Bayern Munich are favourites for this game and to say that Bayern Munich will probably win this game, I don't see that as ultra defeatist. I see it as realistic, and also based on the performance at the weekend. Obviously, we were played off the park. So I go into this game not expecting a United win. However, I do expect a performance, and as I said, I look at Burnley on Saturday night. That is a massive game for us. That's a game that probably makes me feel I'm more excited about this game, but I'm more nervous about Burnley because it's away from home. Heads can drop. It's a team that we need to beat. I think that Burnley game is massive on Saturday, and I'm probably more nervous about that than I am about this. I don't expect us to win this game today, and even if we don't win it, I still think we'll beat Galatasaray and Copenhagen home and away and qualify with 12 points. And we might even get something out of Bayern at our place. So it's not a bad game to play first and get it out of the way. We've got huge injury problems, as we know. So I'm looking at this game and I'm just seeing, realistically, yeah, I want a performance. I want a result. But I want a performance more. I want to see, you know, I actually want to see Casemiro play like Casemiro. I want to see Bruno get hold of a game. I want to see that back four defend well and not sluggish, because there's no excuses. What's with the bench strength? It's very weak. Well, Domingo, I can read the bench out for you. I'm not surprised our bench strength is weak because we've got so many injuries. But Manchester United's bench consists of Bayinda, Martial, Garnacho, Heaton, Evans, McTominay, Vitek, Gore, Mabry and Forson. I mean, it's a very weak bench if that was a bloody relegation team in the Premier League. I think we've got 3 goalkeepers on there, which is terrifying, really. But Martial, Garnacho offer something. McTominay and Evans, you know, offer a little bit less. And then you've got 3 young lads in Gore, Mabry and Forson. So the first 11 have got to put a shift in. That's what they've got to do. Big day for Pellistri. Come on, lads. This is Ronnie Pickering. I'm Ronnie Pickering. And big day. Yeah, it is a big day. It's a big day, and a lot of you wanted it. So let's have it. Is it true that Sancho is gaming FIFA, or is it a rumour? Where can I watch it for proof? If it is true, he's finished at United. Wow, the ego on him is insane. I don't know, Stig. I don't know whether it's true. Somebody was posting some stuff out I think it was a couple of hours ago that he was playing FIFA. I mean, look, if he wants to play EAFC, and he's not part of the squad, he can do whatever he likes. But it's not a good look, is it? It's not a good look on the night Man United are playing to be online playing EAFC. But what else is he supposed to do? I don't have a massive problem with it, but ultimately some people will. It's not a good look, but you know, I don't know whether it's true. Mark, do you want to go on a hunger strike with me until the Glazers sell? I'll do. Nelson wants to go on a hunger strike. Well, you'll be dead before they sell, mate. Eric Ten Hag's lost the dressing room, says Chris. I see Ramsdale's been dropped again, says Charlie. Yep, some of those Arsenal fans just didn't want to listen, did they? They didn't want to listen. That was always going to happen, in my opinion. And Daniel Needham says, Daniel, welcome to Members Club. I just want to apologise to you a little bit. I'm up for this show, and you know me, I'll battle through it, but I've got a really bad stomach ache. I don't know what's causing it. I think it's something I've eaten, and yeah, I'm not good. But I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And I just might move around a little bit during the stream because, yeah, I was trumping like a windbag earlier. No, it's definitely something I eat. I don't get nervous about these sort of games. I get excited about these sort of games. You're not supposed to eat the undercooked ones, Mark, says Jacob, and don't throw up on air. Oh no, I'm not going to throw up. I just got a bit of cramp across my stomach. Right. I won't be farting. I'm going to try not to do that. So let's have a look at what Eric Ten Hag has had to say ahead of the game. Inundated with injuries. I mean, look, you know what I was thinking as well? Isn't it a little bit embarrassing in relation to a lot of people talk about Harry Maguire and why he didn't go to West Ham. A lot of people talk about Scott McTominay and why he didn't go to Fulham. But what about Donny van de Beek? I mean, Donny van de Beek had all summer to get a move and didn't get a move, and now he's not even registered to play games in the Champions League, and we've got no midfielders. It's so embarrassing, isn't it? I don't know whether this is a direct quote. I mean, it's a funny one to have, and I don't know what the context is. But Ten Hag has said, this is where we belong. Pellistri is doing very well over a long period. He was coming from South America to start against Brighton. Tough journey. So maybe he was hinting that he would like to have played him at the weekend. Pellistri can match Davies with his dribbling. Davies is not a great defender, so I think it's a challenge, isn't it? It's Davies versus Pellistri in Ten Hag's mind, and Ten Hag has certainly laid down the gauntlet. So there we go. I tell you what, I've got to say, I love Paul Scholes, but this is what Paul Scholes has had to say about Harry Kane. Whatever he would have costed, Man United should have got him. I love Scholesy. I don't disagree with what he's saying, but there's a massive part of me that says, let's get real. Like, there is this myth going round, and I've even seen some journalists say Man United just didn't get involved in the bidding because it was too much money. Spurs were never selling us Harry Kane. How many times do you need to be told that? Like, people can say, we should have spent the money, we should have offered this money, we should have offered that money. What? Bayern Munich have spent £100 million on a 30-year-old. What do you want us to do? Offer 150? Because that's what it would take. Spurs would not going to take 110 from a Premier League club when they can get 100 from a Bundesliga team. Like, I know it's good to moan, and I know the Glazers are rubbish, but sometimes you just have to say this Harry Kane story is bollocks. And what will happen tonight if he scores and we lose? Oh, United lose to the player they should have bought. It belongs on... You know, it belongs in the Daily Star, with all due respect. It's such a nonsense story. Yes, we should have signed Harry Kane, but Spurs never would have sold him to us. So everyone going, oh, like United missed the boat. We missed the boat with Bellingham. We showed him round Carrington and he chose Dortmund. We missed the boat with Haaland. Ollie flew to bloody Salzburg and he still signed for Dortmund. We've missed the boat on players, but we haven't missed the boat on Harry Kane because Spurs would not have done a deal. What's your thoughts on Rashford not scoring a Premier League hat-trick, but several players who debuted after him have, and over 300 players have? I don't really think hat-tricks are that big, mate. He scored plenty of goals last year. Daniel Needham, welcome to the Members Club. Here's hoping for a small miracle and a minimum of good performance. Højlund will score if the proper service. Rashford passed the ball, says Anthony. Have a poo, Mark, says Kai. I hope I don't see in off the sack Eric Ten Hag bullshit if we lose, says Mohammed. Well, we will do because there's twats out there. Scholes, another ex-player talking rubbish. He says United should have paid whatever for Harry Kane, blaming Ten Hag for getting Spurs wouldn't sell it to us. Well, Martin, literally what I just said. It's an absolutely pointless argument. And it terrifies me, really, how this is the mainstream. As I said, Darren Bent was on TalkSport describing our back four as disgusting. There's literally nothing else we can do. And that goes into the mainstream. And thick people start going, that's disgusting. What else was he supposed to do? oh, Man United should sign Harry Kane. They literally wouldn't sell him to us. So yeah, it's just, I suppose the mainstream are dropping off because people like ourselves are having proper conversations and it's making them look silly, whereas 10 years ago those conversations weren't taking place. Just look what's written on your left earphone. By the way, I made a huge bet on Bayern, but I'm ready to lose, says Musk. And what's your dream back four? Love the content, mate, says Show. What's my dream back four for Manchester United? Well, today I'd have to go with that. I'm worried about Reguilon. I don't think Reguilon's that good. I really hope he can prove me wrong. I think we should have paid a little bit extra for Cucurella. But yeah, I worry about the wings because they've got Sane and Gnabry, and they are good players. So yeah, I worry about the flanks. But yeah, look, let's hope Højlund can score. They would never get a buyback clause either, says Michael Wright. And Mark, hope you feel better, mate. Not sure if you said, but score prediction. First time I've ever felt we've got no chance, says Jacob. There's nothing wrong with saying we haven't got a chance tonight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If anything, it's sensible. So there's nothing wrong with saying we've got no chance tonight, or there's nothing wrong with thinking we're going to lose tonight. I think we'll lose. I'm hoping that we don't. Because we were so bad at the weekend and we've been so bad all season. I don't know where this good performance is going to come from. I just want to see as good football in Højlund, says Nick. I don't think you're going to see good football, Nick. I think what you're going to see is what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to counter. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have to defend deep and counter. And we have got the players to do that. Random says, get those tissues ready. I don't know what you're going to do. And in a way, couldn't this be good? Bayern's basically certain to win, so no excuse not to play your best. No, I disagree with that. The last thing we should do is open up. If we lose 1 or 2-0, it might not be the end of the world. If we get beat 4 or 5, there's a big difference in defeat, isn't it? It's the way you lose. Do you think Rashford got a scolding from Ten Hag and will focus on passing the ball to Rasmus today? I'm excited about Pellistri, says Sakin. Well, if we can get the ball to Pellistri, he's an old-fashioned winger who wants to put the ball into the box. So even if Rashford doesn't do that, you have got a winger who will. Joe says, I don't really care about the score tonight as long as we give everything, says Joe. And looking at their bench, most of them would start for us 100%, says Sultan. And who would you rather have back the sooner, Mark? Amrabat, Varane, Mount, Sancho or Anthony, says Animator. I need Amrabat. Even though he's the unknown, I think we need that in the midfield. But I also think Varane is huge for Manchester United. So for me, it would be Varane, then Amrabat. Mount, Sancho and Anthony, I'm not writing them off. But Sancho would be my least player I'd want back at the moment out of all those players. I think he's had his chances. And, the thing about Sancho is it's the most frustrating one. He's not injured and he's not suspended. He's just been petulant, and he should be a squad player today. He should be part of this squad today. Just talking about the bench for Bayern, listen to this. De Ligt, Kingsley Coman, Choupo-Moting, Peretz, Sarr, Muller, Tell, Mazzori, Kratzik, Schmidt. Now, some of them are shit, but there's a lot of good players there. And, yeah, it's certainly the depth that we don't have. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Really appreciate that. I think we've read them all out. Am I the only one positive, says United Scope? No, I've had plenty of people expecting a positive result from Manchester United tonight. I think it's really important that 2 things happen. 1, we don't concede in the first 20 minutes. And 2, that we're a threat on the break. If you watch the AC Milan-Newcastle game yesterday, Newcastle were massively fortuitous. Like, AC Milan had 7 shots on target and 16 shots altogether in the first half an hour. Newcastle got a lot of praise for that result yesterday. And as much as it was a good result for them, it could have been 3-0 at half time. So I don't want that sort of a performance because I don't think Newcastle can take anything away from that other than bad finishing and a good point. But it wasn't good defending. They were absolutely dominated. So we don't want that to happen in the first 20 minutes. The whole Harry Kane thing doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter who is up front when your wingers and midfield don't offer service, says Abraham. I think that's a great point as well. To all these people who actually think we could get Harry Kane, who have you been watching for the last few years? To all these people who say United should have broke the bank for Harry Kane, Have you been watching Man United for the last few years? Or did you ignore the lack of service to Cavani, to Ronaldo, to Rashford, to Martial? Let's go and spend our whole budget on Harry Kane, stick him up front, and then moan when he's having to drop deeper than centre-back to get the ball. Like, we don't provide service for a striker. It's so ridiculous that people think, sign Harry Kane and everything will be solved. We don't create chances for our striker. We've spent 60 million quid on Højlund. He has his home debut and has 0 shots on goal on a home debut. Like, we don't create chances. The biggest issue with Manchester United, we needed to buy strikers because we haven't got any. But the biggest issue with Man United is not a ball-playing goalkeeper. It's not a striker. It's actually learning how to not shit yourself and shoot in the final third. To actually calm yourself down. To play some intricate stuff. To keep possession in the final third. Which is why I'm disappointed in Jadon Sancho. Because I think he's actually the sort of player that can put his foot on the ball and be calm in the final third. But that's Man United's biggest issue. Do you think Tuchel not being on the touchline will give some kind of extra boost to sacking? Well, I'm not really fussed about that. The atmosphere is going to be fantastic. Gummy says, I just got home and Pellistri is starting and I can't speak. It is a real surprise, and it's a nice surprise as well. Mark, EAFC better be good for 90 quid, says 66 Gaming. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. Get involved with the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. And don't forget, we're sponsored by the great people at Manscaped. 20% off with the code TUS. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. The very best beard trimmer. They've just released it. It's absolutely brilliant. But they also do it for down there. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Big shout out to Manscaped, and thanks for supporting the show. We've had another super chat come in. It's from Hijaz. He says, Ricky's right. We must sit back and counter. No spaces between Bruno and Casemiro. Why don't we play 4-4-2? And if Pellistri has a bad game, let's not get onto him. Well, I was out. Seb was at training, so I had to go and watch Seb, which is a pleasure. And I didn't get to watch much of the Countdown to Kickoff show, which I normally do watch and enjoy while I'm having my tea. So if that's what Ricky said, he's absolutely spot on. There's only one way to play this game. Tight at the back, hit on the break. We'd be stupid to do anything else. Hugh says, I'm just tuned in. What's your score prediction? I'm actually going 2-0 to... I'm going to go 2-0 to Bayern. But I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I'll tell you what, though. Talk about total football. Seb scored a cracker. An absolute cracker. I mean, they were only playing 4 aside, but got it in defence, played it to his mate. Mate gave it back. Played it back to his mate. Mate gave it to Seb. Knocked it to the left wing. Mate crossed it in. Side footer into the bottom corner. I was like, he's only 6. He's only 6. The Mbappe project. I thought it might be the Weghorst project. It's the Mbappe project. Absolute baller. It was a great goal. I hope we see something like that tonight. It's Goldbridge ball. Get the ball, pass and move. Move up the pitch. Easy. It was a good goal. He was over the moon. The thing is, when he scores, some of them start doing the Ronaldo Sue, doing slides and everything like that. Seb's quite reserved. He just runs back, gives me a little look, thumbs up, and gets back to it. Reminds me of Keane. If we had Shaw and Amrabat instead of Sergio and Eriksen, I think I would stand a real chance. Ineptitude of Glazers biting us in the backside, says Sebastian. And I think Pellistri can provide more service than any of our other wingers. Not selfish at all. Looking forward to see him tonight, says Paul. Well, we've said this about Pellistri a few times, haven't we? He is the only he's a classic winger. Like, we sort of at United, we've lost our way with wingers. There are wingers out there that do it. Salah does do it. Grealish does do it. Bernardo Silva does do it. They know their job is as well to provide service. But at Man United in recent years, considering we're the quintessential architects of wing play, like the United way has always been wing play, wingers that can put a ball in the box. And weirdly, since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, we've lost our identity of wingers that can actually create. And you go through the years of Giggs and Beckham and even Ronaldo, Nani, Kanchelskis, so many wingers, Lee Sharp, actually creative wingers. We don't have them. They're all flair wingers that want to cut in and shoot. And Pellistri is an old school winger. He wants to get to the byline on his natural side and put a cross in. And, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs that he's the only one we've got. But I'm over the moon that he's playing, and I just hope he can have a good game. What do you think these players need to get their confidence up whilst retaining attention on the play to avoid leaving the runners from the midfield alone? Concentration and confidence, Similian. C and C. They need confidence, which will come from scoring and playing well, and they need concentration, because if you think about it, we scored a good goal against Arsenal, Eriksen to Rashford, confidence. But what we didn't do is concentrate. Within a minute, Odegaard's equalised because Eriksen plays a good ball to Rashford, we're 1-0 up. A minute later, Eriksen lets Odegaard go, it's 1-1. So it's confidence and concentration, because you can score a good goal and feel like you're on top of the world, and then a minute later you can concede a goal and feel like you've been kicked in the nuts. Confidence is great, and that comes from good play. Concentration solidifies that confidence, and that's what we need to do. Confidence and concentration. We're going to turn a corner. I hope we get the best 11 in the pitch soon, and our football will get better. Sudden, I'm absolutely convinced we turn a corner under this manager. Absolutely convinced. I'm just not convinced it's going to be tonight, unfortunately. I think this is... it's going to be a challenge. But I like what X says. This is probably our best team finally. At the moment, forget the back four. The back four is decimated with injury. We know that. The back four's got no problems with people putting tweets out or suspensions. The back four is just decimated with injury, and that's bad luck. But the front six, you could argue that Rashford, Pellistri and Højlund is our strongest front three. I disagree. I still think Anthony offers a lot if he was here. I still think Sancho could offer a lot if his head was in the game. I still think Garnacho offers a lot. But that front three is not, bad. And then Bruno and Casemiro are in our best midfield. So the front six has to deliver. And the atmosphere will be intimidating, says Kel. Right, make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. We're very, very close to go. Get your score predictions in as well. And we're looking forward to this. I'm just looking at that out of context. Right. There'll be a lot of people tuning in. Look, the thing about the Champions League is it's not Thursday night football. What you've got to do is you've got to get your head back in the game. Man United are now playing Champions League football. And when you're playing Champions League football, a lot of people watch. I can't believe Ricky said it's like we're playing Maidstone United in the FA Cup. He's not pleased with the team at all. Will Ricky be right or will he be wrong? We'll have to wait and see. But the thing about the Champions League is there'll be a lot of people watching us tonight who aren't Man United fans, hoping and expecting we get absolutely battered. Time to see what we're missing out on with Kim Min-jae and Kane, says, well, no, there's a big difference between Kim Min-jae and Kane. Kim Min-jae should be wearing a Man United shirt, marking Harry Kane. Harry Kane was never wearing a Man United shirt because Spurs weren't going to let it happen. What would you say is the best case scenario if we lose? 1-0 and they score a jammy goal. I don't want to see 3, 4 or 5. We should win tonight. The league pressure is off them and they will probably perform PSG style. We know what these players' mentality is like, says Nicholas. That's an interesting point, Nicholas. That is an interesting point. Could there isn't a lot of pressure if they don't want the pressure. You're right, because if we lose this game, it doesn't affect our league form and there's still 5 other games. 7-0 for Bayern, but Ten Hag in and Glazers out, says Brian. Bloody hell. And if you could sign one player from Bayern, who would it be? Kimmich. Yeah. Imagine Kimmich and Casemiro. I mean, I'd like Kim Min-jae. I'd like Musiala. I'd like one of their wingers, to be honest. I've always been a big fan of Sane. I don't know whether Sane's actually achieved his potential, but I'm a big fan of him, and obviously Harry Kane and everybody else. But I think that for me, the key one would be I just love Kimmich. I think he's an absolutely incredible player, and that's probably where I would go with that. Yeah. Let me just do that. Okay, we're about ready to go. United players looking very nervous in the lineup, says Paul. Our bench is a perfect representation of where we are as a club. I'd take a 1-0 loss right now, says Charlie. And I'm praying this is a Liverpool moment from last season where we go win when we're not meant to. And then we can go on a streak. Sean Dunn, talking about a Liverpool moment, does remind me of something. I think we are echoing Liverpool's season last season a lot. Liverpool started the season really badly last year, having had a really good season the year before because they were tired. Who remembers Liverpool going away in the Champions League to Napoli and getting their arse handed on a plate? Let's hope we don't repeat that, Liverpool. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only about 30 subscribers away from 737 in that corner. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much for that. We're about ready to go here. Do you wish you could go to more games like this, says Ignorant? I do. And those times will come. Of course they will come. Well, hopefully they will come again. There's my boy, Rasmus. Are you worried that the midfield will be overrun? I don't rate McTominay, but I do think he'd be able to make it harder. Well, Mullen, I've got to say, I put Scott McTominay in Ten Hag's predicted team, and I put Bruno Fernandes on the wing. So I'm actually happier with the team that Erik Ten Hag has picked. I can't deny that. So, but yeah, look, I could understand the logic of putting him in there. Yeah, definitely. But I can't say that I'm disappointed that he's not playing. Nearly 40,000 people watching. You're absolute legends. The original watch-along, the best watch-along. Everything else is just an imitation. They probably even make up their own analogies these days and buy shelving from IKEA. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe and share the video. We're just waiting to start here. Just waiting to start. My God, I've just seen another one with a shelving unit behind them. It's terrifying. Right, I'm just waiting to get this timer up and then we'll be going. Bayern are going to kick it off. How are we feeling, everybody? Fasten those seatbelts. Let's get ready to go. Bayern are ready to go and we're off. We're off. Going to be a cracker. It's going to be a fucking cracker. It's going to be a cracker. Let's not be Henry VIII FC. I don't want to see any heads dropping tonight. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, Niall. Let's do it. Sorry for the language, but it will happen sometime. We've hit 40,000 watching concurrently. Brilliant. Make sure you keep sharing and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. It's a horrible camera angle, says Ronnie. And that's what she said. Why do we always blame the owners for not getting the players we need? Then the season starts, results are inevitable, but we blame the manager. Ben, well done. Can I just say that's a great point? It happens all the time. It always ends upon the manager as soon as the season starts. But I quite like this start from United. Bayern Munich, I watch a lot of football. Do That's Football as well. Pogba in midfield would be great tonight, says Rory. I don't think he plays football at all anymore, does he? Leon Andes, thank you very much for joining the members club. You're a legend. Thanks for supporting the club. But I watched Bayern Munich against Man City last season in the Champions League, and I think that they gave Man City the best game. I really do. I think that they really did dominate the ball, and Man City did a great job of, hurting them. But they lacked a centre-back, who is still playing today, Upamecano, who was dreadful against Man City. And they lacked a cutting edge, which they have got with Harry Kane now. So I expect Bayern Munich to have a lot of possession. I know it's 92% at the moment, but I expect it to be well over 70% by the 90th minute. Kyriakos says, it's 3 a.m. watching this live from Perth. We'll never forget Robban knocking us out with that short from the corner. Best childhood memories, says Kyriakos. Yeah, when he went like that. I always liked Robban, but I didn't like that. Sane seems to have broken the offside trap there and won a corner. United are furious, and he looked miles offside to me. But I think they're going to win a corner. Well, that's no good. That angle's no good. I tell you what, if we've played him on there, that's terrible. And they've given the corner as well. Show us the line. That's what I hate about modern TV, is that, they've got bloody VAR, They've got ball trackers, but they don't give us the line of the offside there. What point is that? You know, the whole United defence has got its hand up, and we don't get shown whether it was offside or not. I'm on edge already. I'm on the edge. Really looking forward to seeing what the service is like from Palestri to Hoyland. In Ten Hag we trust, says James. I just want to see, you know, it's so important. I know the vast majority of these players are behind the manager, and I just want to see it. You know, I want to see the Anana from the Champions League final as well, where he's, you know, stringing these passes together that we've just not been able to do confidently. Mark, listening to your recent podcast in the Champions League format, how do you honestly think this will affect players going forward? Fatigue, inconsistency and injuries will cost games, for Slow Sports News. Yeah, well, more games means dilution of quality and more injuries. And the Champions League next year is hideous. 8 games instead of 6. One league of 36. Mark, are we going to get some arbitration straight out of Prattville again? Says Sem. Ericsson, it's got to be a goal. He's got to give a penalty. He's got to give a penalty. He's got to give a penalty on Palestri. He's got to give a penalty on Palestri. He's got it. Don't give a bloody high five. He's got to give a penalty. It's a bloody penalty. Watch this. Ericsson to the back post. Well, does he get the ball? Does he get the ball? Looks like he comes through the back of him and takes him. That looked like a penalty to me. He's come through the back of him. I know he gets the ball, but he's come through the back of him. Oh, referee. They ain't even going to review it. CF says it's never a penalty. I can take on board that he gets the ball, but he comes through the back of him. You can't do that. They've not shown enough angles. They've not shown enough angles there. Ah, come on. Again, look, who's the cameraman? Bloody work experience. What, they've gone down bloody Boots and got the camera developer to come and do the job. Okay, now show us the angle. I think it looked a penalty as well. But, you know, I've only seen one angle. I'm not going to be red-tinted glasses, but for me it looked like a penalty. Palestri wins a goal kick. Well, if they don't show the bloody clip again, good play by Ericsson, it was. Yeah, you want, the thing is though, people say, "Oh, stop moaning about a penalty," but when we're in the position we're in, we want, you know, you could do with a bit of luck. Bruno with the corner. Oh, he's got his eagle-eyed cherry there, isn't he? Eagle-eyed cherry there, can spot a foul in the box from a bloody push. Oh, he can spot a push in the box, but he can't spot a penalty in the box. Get yourself a pair of glasses, you absolute tosser. Good tackle. Casemiro into Rashford. That's a foul. Oh, my God. Where did they get this idiot from? Prattville? What's he on about? That's a foul on Rashford. Oh, and he gives a foul the other way. This ref's on coke. This ref's a joke. This ref is a bloody joke, mate. Absolutely incredible. He's giving them everything. Absolutely everything. And he won't give us a thing. Another offside not given. Fucking hell, what's going on here? I mean, Sane's miles off there. You can see his knees off. Bloody twat. Hi, Mark. Does Amazon Prime offer every football game or just selective games? Says Kofi. This is not on Prime. This is on TNT. Sorry, Mark. Happened straight after I asked about the arbitration. Says Sem. Well, yeah. I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. A reasonable first 8 minutes from Manchester United. I mean, I'd love to see it. I think there could have been a penalty. Kim Min-jae does well there, but Bruno picks it up nicely into Delo. It's been a good start from United so far. I mean, we had a good start against Brighton, though, so let's just chill. Need to see the likes of Martinez and Casemiro really step their game up. They've had a slow start to the season. Reguilon into Rashford, into Reguilon, little cross, corner. Can you show us the penalty again? Corner for United. I mean, for me, corners for Man United are basically glorified goal kicks. We never score from corners. Lewis says, Mark, you're so biased. It's called, I am a Manchester United fan. You're not on That's Football. Like, on That's Football, my team's not, I don't have a horse in the race, so I'll be pragmatic. But this is my club. You know, obviously, I'm going to be biased. Rashford passed the ball, says Barry. He might pass again here. Into Ericsson. Let's swing it to the back post. It's a good cross, but the keeper punches it away. Darren Taylor, thanks for your super chat there. Cameraman is absolutely dreadful. I don't like. I don't know where they've got this camera guy from. Could be a camera woman, but stereotypically, it is a male-dominated occupation. Rashford's passing, says Angel. Well, it's nice to see Anana just having the ball and dictating the play a little bit, because that will slow the game down. Hi, Mark. I really enjoy watching Pellistri. How do you Reguilon has been for us so far? I think he's been solid, says Addis. I mean, it's very early days for Reguilon, but he has been, a very welcome addition to the world. Has to be the cameraman's first day on the job. Absolutely horrific, says Harry. I know. I don't know where they got him from. Useless. Reguilon can't defend, but is good going forward, says Robert. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, Robert. I remember Reguilon at Spurs, and I used to really rate him, actually. But that was, like you say, probably going forward. Would you rather us win the Champions League or the Premier League, says Darren? I mean, either would be fantastic. I mean, that's like asking a virgin whether they'd rather, lose it with Margot Robbie or Taylor Swift. I mean, either is absolutely fine. Ref and linesman have been on the beer, says DJ. We'll have that, Pellistri. We'll have that. Back to Delo. Nice. Oh, come on, Delo. We can't be scrappy there. Nice ball into Bruno. Where's he going to go? Pellistri. Look at that. He'll give a foul. Give a foul for pushing Alphonso Davies, won't he? I still think it's a penalty and we haven't seen it. Not a bad start, to be fair, says Luke. No. It's not been a bad start. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand column. We're very close to 737. About 20 away last time I checked. So, bottom right-hand corner. Reguilon's just gone down here. Caught in the face accidentally by Sane. Life's good, says Taylor Swift is mid. So does Clud. They bought the camera guy to shoot from the left angle, but he prefers to shoot from the right angle, as the genius knows. There's a battle in the chat going on about Taylor Swift now. Mark. Reckless, thank you very much for that. I think I'm getting a cold, actually. I think that's what my problem is. Well, a good start from Manchester United and a subdued start from Bayern Munich, which I'll take at the moment. As we know with United, though, things can change very, very quickly. Rashford with a bad touch there. Come on. Another foul. You convinced with Onana's shot-stopping ability, says Cal. I think he's being overanalyzed a little bit. Rashford or Sane, who would you pick, says Shoot. Well, I'm going to stick with Rashford, aren't I? But I do like Sane. Cameraman got his camera operating certificate from a dark room in the back of Tesco, says Fernando. People are still having the Taylor Swift and Margot Robbie debate. It was an analogy. Good pressing by Palestri on Alfonso. Some people saying that Sane knew what he was doing on Reguilon and that ball will go out. I can't believe that Bayern Munich are using Lehmer as a right back, by the way. So the right back of Bayern Munich was formerly at Leipzig. He plays for Austria. And Ralf Rangnick was a big fan of his, and I think there was a very realistic chance that if Ralf Rangnick had stayed in charge of Man United or had moved as the director of football, then Lehmer probably would have come to Manchester United. But he's a centre midfielder for me. He's not a right back, and he's sort of drifting out to that right back position because obviously they've got Kimmich and Goretzka. But United have looked comfortable tonight so far. But this was the 14 minutes where it all went wrong. Lovely ball into Reguilon up against Upamecano. Got to give the foul. Yes. Well done, referee. About time you start sharing it out. Book him as well. He's moaning too much. He's not got the captain's armband. Send him off. He just called you a wanker. Where the hell do they get these refs from? He'll give them everything. Bayern always get the 50-50s, says Marcus. And a swift ball to the plums of the ref might go a long way. Team Margot, says Weston. Welcome to the Members Club, Charles. Thank you very much for joining and supporting the channel. Ref's finally waking up, says Savage. It's about time he gave us something. Upper Maguire. That's what they were calling him last year, isn't it? Yeah. Against City. Right, put this up on the goalie, Bruno, because he punched at the last one with no one near him. You need to put this on the goalie. Put this free kick on the goalie. He's done it. Oh, header away. Rashford has been running and passing. Ten Hag's the GOAT, says Joshua. Back to the keeper. Calm. Look at Upamecano here. He ain't worried. What a ball that is. Lovely. Into Rashford. He wants a corner. He's not going to get a corner there. I could see that was a goal kick, Marcus. Lovely ball by Onana to Bruno. And then Rashford a bit unlucky. But United are pressing a lot better today. They've played through the press. Good tracking back by Rashford. And Onana wins it back. Mark, if you had to choose out of being blind forever or never being able to get it up again, which would you pick? Team Margot, says James. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Do a poll on what, Egg? Have you seen the video of the Ghana Parliament talking about Maguire, says Ahmed? It's quite an old video. I have seen it, yeah. Oh, look at that. My button's come undone. Don't get excited. The zip is tight. I know why I did that because I had stomach aches. I'm just letting it breathe a little bit. But apologies there. There'll be women getting excited all over the world tonight with that. I hope, well, and maybe men. I mean, who knows? But not going to happen with either. I'm a happily married man. I must say I really like Reguilon. Here's Rashford into the box, does well, crosses it. Nah, it's not the right cross. I think Rashford's had a shot there. I don't think Rashford's trying to cross that there. This is the thing with Rashford. Is that a cross or is it a shot? I think that's a shot. I don't think he's crossing that. I think he's shooting. And that's the thing. He's just got to get that out of his head. You're in a ridiculous position. Put the cross in. I like Reguilon, says Justin. To the point, I'd give him the job over Shaw. Come on. Shut up. Daniel says it was a cross. Didn't look like a cross to me. Looked like he was shooting. That's going out, surely. Yeah. Well, look, 18 minutes gone, and I'm pleased with United start, I've got to say. Let us know what you think. Could be a cross shot, yes. It was one of those cross shots. Hi, Mark. Do you really think Kane wanted to go to Bayern? Man United really should have used him. I think you should have gone in for him, in my opinion. It's Louis. This is really frustrating to United fans. The amount of people who keep saying we should have bought Harry Kane. We couldn't buy Harry Kane. Spurs were not selling it to a Premier League club. End of the story. So I don't know why people are putting this story out there that United could have bought Kane. We couldn't buy Harry Kane. Oh, Rasmus. He didn't read it. He's made the run, and then I don't think he thinks Bruno's going to make the pass, and he did make the pass, and Rasmus wasn't looking at it. So a good ball by Bruno. Bayern look nervous, says Gary, and always happy when teams play well, but it's another mentality issue. We've had good games away in Europe in recent years, but they need to show up every week. Where was this energy against Brighton, says Andrew? Well, maybe Brighton would beat Bayern. You know, that's not disrespect Brighton. Seeing as the team is knackered, I would prefer they conserve some energy on the press, on the build-up, even if it's a bit dangerous. Don't know what you think on this, says Sam. And what ridiculous recency bias. Don't disrespect Shaw like that, says the Inquisition. And Daniel Derbyshire has just gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. Here's Harry Kane. That's a decent-ish ball to Musiala, and it's good defending by Lindelof. First sniff at goal for Bayern, and it's Harry Kane there, showing what he can do creatively, but good play by Victor Lindelof, and it wasn't a great save. You prat. Who said great save? Emmanuel. Get yourself down the opticians. It was a block by Lindelof. Anana there on the back post to palm it away for a corner. Does his job. I like to see a little bit more of that. Delo giving him a bit of a high five. I want to see more of that fisting in the defence. Injuries aside, will winning this game put our summer transfers ahead of Bayern, says Roland. And automatically better than Saturday because of the formations, says MB. Yeah, I didn't like the diamond formation at all. People get obsessed with the diamond formation, but I didn't like it, and it didn't work. One last game. Welcome to the Members Club. We don't use the right side often enough, says Miles. No, we don't. I do like this, though. This is something you do get with Onana that you wouldn't have got with De Gea. They will just leave Onana with the ball, and teams won't press him because they're scared of what he'll do. So it can be a real breather for us. I mean, it only works when you're in the game, like if it's 0-0 or you're winning. But you can just leave the ball with Onana, and it's a great. It takes the pressure off the team, and we played through the press very well here with Delo. Another shit pass by Delo though. Done that twice now, just giving possession back. AO says SL. What if we win and go on 20 games winning streak? Good tackle by Martinez there. Is it allowed to dream, says Ahmad. You can always dream. What Bayern player would you like to see in the Premier League, says Shay. I like Kimmich. A few people talking about Højlund saying he's not in the game. Look, in a game like this, you're going to have to work hard as a number 9, and you're going to have to live off scraps. I mean, what's Harry Kane done? He's just played a nice through ball, but we've kept him very quiet. You know, this is top level sport, top level football, and you know, Højlund's just going to have to work hard. But yeah, going back to that Onana point, it's a great point, and I'm very happy with our possession at the moment. 56% to 44. I expected Bayern to be up into the 70s for most of this game, so I'm quite happy with that at the moment. In fact, I'm very happy with that. But no, Onana is a really important player, and it's not just about playing out from the back in an offensive way. It's really important in a game control way, because we've seen it 5 or 6 times already here. We're away from home. Bayern Munich want to beat us. They want to dominate, but we leave the ball with Onana, and they won't press him because they know he'll play through them. So they'll let him have the ball, And that, for us, is great because it allows us to slow and control the game. Lamer's just gone down injured here. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let's go back to those stats and have a quick look at what they look like. As you can see, 55% possession to 45. Only one shot in the whole game, and that's from us. So a game of very few chances. Pass accuracy could be a little bit better from us. We have wasted a few, but theirs is slightly better. But very equal. If you want to have a look at the individual stats of each player, go to OneFootball. Links in the video description. Free to download on Apple and Android. They sponsor our stats carousel, and they do the individual stats for each player. So you can see who's passing and not, and who's had how many touches they've had, etc. I guarantee Højlund would be low at the moment. But that graveyard shift, as we know. Also get your latest breaking football news, etc. on the OneFootball app. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. 24 minutes gone. I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't Man United fans who are not happy, calling it a boring game. I think from the United fan point of view, based on what we did at the weekend, we're very happy with this so far. 25 minutes gone. Firmly in the game. Playing reasonably well. I think we're very happy with this at the moment. That Harry Kane fella should come to the Premier League. He's promising, says Gershon. Would you rather have signed Lamer last year or Amrabat this year? Looking forward to Amrabat and Casemiro, says Kai. Look, Lamer, Enzo Fernandez, Alvarez, Vardiel, Nkunku and Akanji were all on Rangnick's list for Manchester United. We got none of them. You know, 2 of them now play for Manchester City. 1 of them plays for Bayern Munich. 2 of them play for Chelsea. Oh, Eriksen. Eriksen's jumped out of a tackle there. You can't do that. Well done, Reguilon. You can't do that, Eriksen, there. You cannot jump out of the tackle. That they were breaking on us then, and Reguilon did really well. Got a light. I'm just putting an order in. You wouldn't believe what my order is. You know, like, you know, some people will be putting an order in to just eat for a, you know, a Big Mac or a bit of KFC. My order to Mrs. Goldbridge is, could I have a cup of tea and 2 paracetamol? Rock and roll. Rock and roll. I think Reguilon probably has been one of our best players so far. Yeah, I'd agree. Casemiro looks a lot better, a lot more mobile. I think everybody just looks like they've gone up 10%. Like Martinez and Casemiro and Lindelof look a lot more focused. Makes a big difference. Enjoy this while you can. Next Champions League season will be shit, says Alec. Yeah, listen to the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football. Shocking. Absolutely shocking what they're going to do to the Champions League. I thought we'd be down by now. Our defence has been decent. Fernandez just needs to be more clinical with his passing, says Spooky. Nice ball into Kane. Salah. Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. You know what? Onana's going to get absolute pelters there. That is a shit goal. That is absolutely shit. It's absolutely deflating. He's going to be... That is just... That's what happens when it's raining. You get hit by thunder. It's a thunderbolt, that. It's just so disappointing. I mean, the keeper's made an absolute clanger there. You know, if this was De Gea last season, they'd be murder. They'd be going absolutely mad at him. It's an absolute clanger by Onana. It's dreadful. It's a gimme. It's terrible. It's Taibbi time. If anyone remembers Taibbi, fucking rubbish. Absolutely terrible. Plasticine hands. He must have greased his gloves up or something. He must be sponsored by olive oil. It's just... I was literally just doing a tweet to say, much better from United. Martinez, Lindelof, Casemiro more focused. I mean, that just pisses me off. It pisses me off because it's just such a shit goal to concede. You can't do that in a game like this. You can't concede a goal like that. All that work, and you make a stupid mistake. And now it's about what we do. Give him time to Schumacher. I'm not turning on Onana, but it's a bad mistake. You know, if Martinez makes a mistake, I love Martinez. It's a mistake. It's a bad mistake. That's what annoys me, says Slow Sports News. We play very well for 20 minutes and then bam, where we were sitting deep again to the build-up, says Slow Sports News. Well, look, what we've got to do is not let the heads drop. This is exactly what happened against Brighton. We had a good period of time until we conceded. I tell you what, Ten Hag will be furious. He'll be absolutely furious. He'll be like a librarian at a Guns N' Roses concert. He'll be just angry, and there's nothing he can do about it. But we've got to make sure that we don't become Henry VIII FC now. We've got to keep our heads, because this is when United are vulnerable, when we drop. Beryl says, I told you he was useless. Should have got Pickford. Onana is shit, says Charlie. Can't make mistakes like this at this level. You just can't. Kimmich, much better captain than Bruno. Oh, Eze, I couldn't give a shit about that. You can play it out from the back all you want, but if you can't do the basic goalkeeping duties, then you are redundant, says Connor. How many bad mistakes will we turn a cheek to, Mark? We had this growing pain with De Gea, but Sir Alex was overseeing the nurture times, but it'd be turbulent, says Sumi. What was the score?
5 or 6 now.
They won.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm De Gea's biggest fan. There's nothing easier for me than to say all the prats last year that slagged De Gea off, clipped him up, took the piss out of him. I never liked it, and you were completely wrong. And you will always be wrong. But Onana's our goalkeeper, and I can't change that. So that's what I'm not that person. I want Onana to do well. I'll stick by Onana. This is what we've chosen to do, and I will stick by that goalkeeper. But I will say to all those hipsters that were clipping De Gea up, saying what a transformative signing Onana was going to be, what they failed to fucking realise was David De Gea stopped goals. He was a good goalkeeper. He wasn't very good with his feet, but he stopped goals. We've got 17 clean sheets in the Premier League. And unfortunately, some of the... Oh, here we go. The fuck, it's just gone wrong again, isn't it? Literally, we play well for 20 minutes, we concede a stupid goal, and it's Henry VIII FC. It's Henry VIII FC, isn't it? Absolute joke. Defending like a fucking drunk on doing the moonwalk. Fucking idiots. I mean, it's the same every fucking game. We play well, we go 1-0 down, and then it's Henry VIII FC. Headless bloody chickens. Tossers. It's just crap defending. Who's marking him again? Oh, Ericsson. Oh, I'll get there when I can. He's like a fucking Uber. I'll be there in 5 minutes. It's not efficient. Nobody marking in the midfield again. Every fucking goal we concede comes from not marking people in the box. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable because we played well for 20 minutes. And we conceded bad goal. And here we go. Headless Chickens FC. Bloody joke. I tell you what, our defence, they're like bloody concrete. Fucking hell. Always the same. Well, Anana ain't saving that one, in fairness. Anana's giving me Bartes vibes, says Reese. Should have been saved, but Rashford lost his man with a simple 1-2. Oh, Reguilon. So close. We deserve a goal. It's completely fair to say Anana has been subpar so far. Still time to turn it around. I hope he reaches his potential, says iClass. Concrete with Rack Mark, says Carl. And which summer signing has had a positive impact this season? Season was always going the wrong way, says Stephen Edge. Get me that paracetamol. I've got a right headache. I've got a headache. I had a headache before. I tell you what, forget bloody, what is it? What's the sponsor that United looking? Snapdragon. Should Man United sponsored by paracetamol? At least you got the cure written on the shirt. Yeah, just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm so fed up of this. I'm so fed up of the fact that, you know, look, let's have a look at the stats, because I guarantee you, since the goal, what was it, 55% possession for Bayern when it was 0-0. It's going up. This is what happens. We concede, and the opposition actually take control. We are the complete opposite of most football clubs in the world. When we go behind, we actually let the opposition play better. You know, normally you go behind, and teams are like, let's not concede for 5 minutes. Teams score against us and they go, let's go and score 2 or 3 very quickly. Bruno, put the cross in. Oh, fucking hell. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Shooting on your left foot from the edge of the box. You're not left-footed. You're not me. Don't do it. Anana needs to come off, says Beryl. Mark, would you put all this down to bad mentality, says Oddie. You know what I put it down to? It's very clear to me. Would you take De Gea back on a free, says Yink. You know, look, this is beyond pathetic, says Debbie. Right, look, you know me on this channel. I never would have got rid of De Gea. And if De Gea was in goal tonight, he would have saved that first shot. But if De Gea was in goal tonight, we wouldn't have been able to leave the ball with Anana like we have done a few times, because they'd pressed De Gea. So look, I can see what Ten Hag is trying to do, and Anana is the goalkeeper. So I'm not going to start, you know, battering him. He's a new signing, and when you change a goalkeeper, this happens a lot. Hoyland gets up on a cross there, but heads it wide. But my biggest issue with this team is, and I don't blame the manager on this, is that against Brighton, we played well for 15 minutes. They scored and the heads drop. Against Bayern Munich, away from home, are a good side. We play well for 25 minutes and the heads drop. Now, how is that on the manager? He gets them to go out and play well, but then something happens on the pitch and they bottle it. Like, that's an individual player mentality issue. And all the pundits and all the media and all the fans that don't understand because they've got an agenda will put it on the manager. Solskjaer put an interview out today about bad mentality in that dressing room. I don't think that is anything a manager can do anything about. I've played in those teams. I've seen what it's like. You send them out, they're motivated, they know their job. But when something goes wrong, they quit. There's something in the head of these players that they quit. And it's very hard for a manager, when you send them out, set up, to, you know, deal psychologically with a bunch of quitters. And that's what happens. Half expecting a country from Switzerland facilitating euthanasia to sponsor us, says James C. And what that horrible kit epitomises the personnel wearing it, says Kenneth. Well, unfortunately, I think Rashford's been very disappointing again, hasn't he? And, you know, people will say, why are you identifying Rashford? Because he's been at this club longer than most. He's meant to be our best player. He's on 350 grand a week, and I don't see any leadership from him. And he's not a kid anymore. He's a player that's meant to be mixing it up with Harry Kane, with Erling Haaland, with Kylian Mbappe, with Neymar. And I expect more from Marcus Rashford, and I don't see it. I don't see Rashford doing anything out there again that makes Bayern Munich scared, and that's what he should be doing. And people are saying, well, what about Casemiro? I think Casemiro, Martinez, Lindelof actually have played well, and it should be 0-0, and people would be saying they're playing well. But Onana's made a mistake, and I don't know. Look, it looks to me like Choupo-Moting's been left unmarked, and Eriksen's too slow to pick him up again. But I'd have to see that at half time. But look, the cold harsh fact is, as angry as it'll make you, the cold harsh fact is we've played well. Onana's made an absolute clanger. Everybody in the team has gone, well, that's it, we can't win now. And the heads have dropped. And we've conceded another goal. And that's the story of the game. Playing really well. Goalkeeper makes a mistake. A few players in the team go, well, that's it, we can't win now. Concede another goal. So we've lost the world-class stopping ability of De Gea and ended up with a goalkeeper capable of making mistakes just like any goalkeeper, says Ian. We are awful at the moment, but this is all down to a lack of Glazer investment, says Ollie. Thank you very much. Lots of people tuning in. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. It could get worse if you're here for something bad. Let's hope it gets better. Keane said it best. United are the new Spurs. We have zero bottle and backbone, says Charlie. The frustrating thing is, though, we get glimpses of something. Like, for 20 minutes, there was a glimpse of something, and then you make a mistake like that. I mean, look, I don't need Ben Foster to tell me that was fucking rubbish. You know, we all know it was rubbish. The shot's gone a long way. There's no deflection on it. There's nobody in his way. He's almost had too much time to deal with it. And I don't know whether he's thought it's coming so far away. Has he tried to catch it? Which he should do. Has he tried to get his body behind it and hold it? Yeah, it's a dodgy one for me. A dodgy one. Please be on the post-match show for commentary. Honestly unimpressed by Onana this far. Missed the defensive communication. Well, it'll be interesting on the post-match show because obviously Beth's a massive fan of Onana and was a massive disliker of De Gea. So, you know, the shoe's on the other foot now. Here they are again. Come on, we can't concede a third before half-time here. At the very least, we need to keep this respectable now. When we play, can you see a player style or identity, says Brandon. I could see it. You know what, Brandon? I could see a playing style and identity for 20 minutes. But the problem is, when you concede 2 goals like that and you're losing, people will just dismiss the first 20 minutes. But for 20 minutes, it was good. And then the heads drop. Carrying one player on the pitch is bad enough, but when you have a handful, this team needs open heart surgery, says Reese. Bad ball by Onana. Real fans need to support the manager. The Sharks will be out, says James. 100%. Shove all the bad apples into the reserves and give kids a chance. Rashford should be winning that race. Rashford's just been outpaced by Upamecano. Reguilon beat Upamecano 10 minutes ago. Upamecano ain't that fast. Come on, Rashi. Grant says, shove all the apples into the reserves, the bad apples, and give the kids a chance. What the fuck do we need to track the runners into the box? City would have the runs blocked, says Rory. Mate, the amount of goals we've conceded this season from cut-back crosses into the box is disgusting. Like, we literally don't have people who can deal with crosses. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. When we start blasting dumb shots like Bruno just did, that's when you know they've given up. Yeah, not a big fan of that, Zaki, at all. Not a fan of that at all. Hoyland's had 0 service. Yeah, Palestri's hardly had any of the ball. Rashford's done nothing with the ball. Here is Bayern on the break. Hold him up. Hold him up. Delow's out of position. Where are we not marking again? Sane's in the box, not marked again. Would you ever do a watch along in the studio, says Liam? Yeah, I would. I mean, I prefer to do the watch along in the surroundings of where I feel comfortable. The studio's a little, I don't mind doing it in the studio, but this all makes me sick at the way we treated Rooney, says Mehul. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. Højlund as well. Link up play with Rashford. Marcus. Oh, fuck off, Rashford. Did you see that? The way he puts his hand off and then plays it back and just turns his back. Moody. Fucking hell, you're meant to be a bloody leader of the team. I can't be arsed with this mentality. You're not. I don't want to see that from a player that's so important to us. Send on Maguire. He's injured. Palestri's not good enough. We're not getting the ball to Palestri. Come on, Rashi. Come on. Into Reguilon. He's got space. Where are we going? Oh, crap cross. Rashford's arrogant. Thinks he's amazing, says Alex. Onana is letting in goals as easy as Onana did in the Europa League final against Man United when Onana played for Ajax, says Clayton. And get Rashford and Bruno out the team would be a start, says Anthony Jury. Well, he's never going to do that. He's never going to do that. I wouldn't do it either. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Controversial. Here we go. Sane. Oh. I tell you what. Reguilon's done well going forward, but Sane's got him on toast defensively. I mean, if that goes in, it would have been a great goal. I mean, Sane's only got a left foot, but it's a bloody good left foot. It's like Daniel Day-Lewis. 1 minute of added time. We need that. We don't want loads of people. We don't want loads of time adding on. We do not want loads of time adding on. You see, Eriksen's a head mess for me. I think in the progressive phase, really good. In the defensive phase, bag of cement. And it didn't work last year, and it doesn't work this year. You're playing against good teams at Anfield, in Munich, at the Etihad, at the Emirates, at St James's Park. You're playing good teams, and your only midfielder that can tackle is Casemiro. That second is on Eriksen, not tracking Gnabry back. Eriksen's the new matter. Great brain, but can't produce anymore, says Lee. I'd have to see it again, but I suspect it was. How long are we going to keep up this myth of Rashford being world-class? Nani and Welbeck were all better, says James. And need to accept that we should be a counter-attack team with the current squad. Goals are from our press being broken. We don't have the players to get forward and press good teams at this moment, says Darian. Look, if we're going to be a pressing team, then we need to have midfielders who are absolute athletes. They're like yo-yos back and down. And I don't think we have that as well at the moment. Yeah, Beth's very quiet in the group chat at the moment. Jamie's just said he makes Massimo Taibbi look like Peter Schmeichel, and Faz says fuck my life. Live from the United Stand WhatsApp group. But I'll give you anything else if it comes through. It's 2-0 to Bayern Munich. Let's catch a breath for a moment and have a sip of tea, and let's get the stats up on the screen. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner, you're all very welcome. We're live on the United Stand every night at 8 o'clock and every morning at 10 o'clock, and also previews, watch-alongs, match reactions. Of course, we will be in the studio later with Beth and Ricky and Faz, and I can't remember who else is on the show. Be interesting to see what Beth, who is Onana's #1 fan and hated De Gea, has got to say about this. It is what it is in that sense. I think you've got to look at that first. Look, first of all, I said United would lose 2-0 tonight. So if we keep it to 2-0, it's not what I didn't expect. The thing I didn't expect was that we'd actually have 44% possession and actually be a lot closer to Bayern than I thought we would. I actually thought Bayern, before the game, would have 75% possession, would have had 10 shots on target, and we'd have had 1 if we were lucky. So, look, the drama that surrounds a loss is a pile-on. It's like a cancel culture, isn't it? When United are losing a game, everyone just wants to overreact. And there is positives in that game that I wasn't expecting. And the positives were that despite some really shit individual performances, there was a few good ones. I thought Reguilon going forward was good. I thought Martinez, Lindelof and Casemiro really worked together very well for 25 minutes. Højlund's worked tirelessly but had not had the ball. We've not even got the ball to Pellistri. But collectively, we were in the game for 25 minutes. And that's a positive. But, you know, it's a nothing shot. Onana's had loads of time to see it. I don't know what he's done. I'll have to look at it again. And look, that's a clanger if you're playing at your local five-a-side. It's, you know, if you're playing a five-a-side game and someone takes that shot, you expect your keeper to pick it up. And that goes in, that's the blooper. You know, they used to do these videos, you get them for Christmas. I mean, I'm acting old here, but the VHS tapes, DVDs, my stepdad used to get one every year. You know, it would be bloopers of the year. Well, that Onana goal would be a blooper. Like, it's not just, he's not unlucky. He should have done better. Like, it's an absolute blooper. And for that to happen in a game of this enormity, you can't have it. You can do it against Forest at home, you might come back. But you can't do it away against Bayern Munich. You can't give those sort of goals up. So, unfortunately, he does. And then United do what United do. We've got a new name for them. Henry VIII FC. Headless. Heads drop. Do your history. And that's what we are at the moment. Our heads drop. And we go 1-0 down. And look, as a fan, I know you can't afford to make that mistake and our job is really difficult now. But as a player, you can't give up. And they do. They switch off. Every single time they go behind, they switch off. And they've switched off. And Bayern have scored very quickly after that. I mean, the goal goes in on the 28th minute. And their second goal goes in on the 32nd minute. Like, we've literally switched off and the second goal goes in. And the second goal isn't a goalkeeping error. It's the same goal as the 3 goals we conceded against Brighton and one of the goals that we conceded against Arsenal. It's a cutback cross and no one's marking the player in the box. So, you know, for 25 minutes, impressive. And then we do what we do. We make a mistake and then the heads drop. And what we've got to try and do in the second half is get back to that first 20 minutes and not let 2-0 become 6-0. Because that's the fear. I would take 2-0 now and get out of Dodge. I would take it and go. But, Bayern Munich haven't even played well. That's the thing. If I'm Tuchel and I'm in the dressing room and I don't know whether he's allowed, not because he's been accused of anything, I'm not saying he's one of those, because he's got a touchline ban. If he is allowed in that dressing room, I would be saying go for the throat. Like, you've not even played well in the first half and you're 2-0 up. United have got the same problem as Chelsea. Very easy to play against. Have high talent like United, but teams now defend well for 30 minutes and watch them panic, says Kieran. Hi, Mark. You should consider patching to the studio and having a discussion with Bethbridge, says Kevin. Rashford acting like he's 12. This hand means I try, you don't come to help. What you do want me from me to do? They are a joke, says Blams. If you didn't let the first one in, there wouldn't have been a second one, says X. I agree. Onana has faced 12 shots on target all season. 9 have been goals, says Ethan. And I don't want to go in on Onana too much, but he looks slightly overweight, Mark. He just doesn't look mobile enough with his shot stopping. Look, Onana needs to work because that decision by Ten Hag, let's just talk about this for a moment. Onana needs to work because that's on the manager. That's £45 million I wouldn't have spent. Now, I back Onana. I want to make this very, very clear. You can't change what's gone before. There's no point in going, De Gea should be in goal, Onana's shit. We can't change it. It's been done. So you back it. And I want Onana to do well. And it has to work because I and a few others said I wouldn't have got rid of De Gea. Like, not yet. That 45 million should be spent elsewhere. I'm looking at the goal here. Let's just have a quick look at it. Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do. I'm looking at his hands. Look at Onana's hands. I think he's trying to take it into his body, and it's squirmed out. Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The throwing of the hands from Rashford is my blood boiling, says Clayton. Can't believe he's on 350k a week with that attitude. And Mark, I think Gallo will walk all over us at Old Trafford. Also, I'm very surprised you're okay with his losing. I hope Bayern blasts 4 more in, says Matt. I'm not okay with his losing. I'm just not surprised. I'm not surprised. But look, in relation to Onana, I said, don't bring him in. Don't replace De Gea. I'm just looking at the second goal. Yeah, Eriksen again. Eriksen again. Well, they're trying to put it on Martinez. Could be Martin. Look, whether it's Martinez or Eriksen, it's a person marking in the box again. But what I was going to say is, there's a couple of things I want to talk before the second half. I said, don't replace the goalkeeper. We won't have a huge budget. We've just had 17 clean sheets. We only conceded 10 goals in 19 home games. The defence works well as a unit. I wouldn't be, and I've never heard of a manager or a club replacing a key player when you've just had a really good season that was built on defence. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. I think there was other problems in that team. So I personally wouldn't have done that. For me, I would have gone with... I would have stuck with De Gea and spent the 45 million elsewhere. But we did do it. And that's what we did. And there's no point going on about it. There'll be people saying De Gea would have saved it. But De Gea probably would have saved it. Or maybe De Gea would have had a clanger. But it might surprise people. I'm just not going to say I told you so. Onana's the goalkeeper. We need to get behind him. Like we need to get behind the manager. I wouldn't have done it. He did it. I'm not the manager. He's the manager. I want Ten Hag as the manager, so I'm going to back him. But look, it's a clanger. It's an absolute clanger. Nick says, Rashford's been a joke. Reguilon has been working his ass off. Look, what I didn't like from Rashford, and I'll show you what I saw. He got the ball and he's doing this. You know, where's my pass? Where's my pass? And then he turns and passes it back and just throws his hands and turns his back. That ain't good enough. You're not Wayne Rooney. You know, you're not 21. You're in your mid-20s. You've just been given a massive contract. You're the star player of the team. We're 2-0 down. You can't be putting your hands out saying, where's the pass? And, you know, tantruming. You can't do that. You're not in good enough form to do that. So I don't like to see that. And, you know, it comes hot on the heels of what Solskjaer was saying about certain players having bad attitudes and people around them that tell them, that family members and agents telling them how great they are. It's not a good look from Rashford. You know, it's not a good look at all. I'm not saying Solskjaer was talking about Rashford, but it's not a good look. It's not a good look for Sancho. It's not a good look. And I think Rashford's had a really bad game. Really bad. I think Højlund is out of the game, but working hard. I think Palestri is not getting the ball and is out of the game, but working hard. But I think Rashford's had plenty of the ball and wasted it. So I'm not happy with Rashford, but he'll never get subbed. I mean, to be honest with you, I never thought I would say this because I'm a big fan of Rashford, but I'd take him off. I'd take him off for Garnacho. But again, we've got a manager that's got a few things that he's going to sink or swim on. Like Onana has to come good. That was a big call. He has to come good. Amrabat has to come good. Højlund has to come good. And, you know, continually picking Rashford and never taking him off has to come good. You become such a Ten Hag sympathiser that losing is okay as long as it's not 6-0. No, I'm not a sympathiser, Bon. We had a really good season last season. We finished third. That's why we're playing in the Champions League tonight. We won a trophy for the first time in 5 or 6 years. We had a really good season last season. We've played 5 games this season and we've had a bad start. It's a small time compared to the bigger time of success. Now, if this goes on for 2 or 3 months, then I will not be a Ten Hag sympathiser. And I see the cracks. Onana's got to work. favouritism of Rashford only works if Rashford's playing well. So I can see the cracks and I can see where it can go wrong. Why I defend Ten Hag is because I think people are trying to do it way too soon. They're taking these 5 games and trying to turn it into something bigger. When the thing that you should be looking at that's bigger is the whole season of last year where we were very successful. And also, we have a huge injury crisis at the moment. So now is not the time for panic stations, and it's certainly not the time for Ten Hag out. Onana is the reason we lost the first half. Add to the lack of chances created for Højlund and the poor marking of Eriksen, says Michael. Our legacy players are disgraceful. I feel bad for our new signings. Rashford is so selfish and wasteful, and Højlund gets no service. I don't know what to say about Onana, says Sebastian. Should have played our legends from yesterday who won 5-1. Kind of shocking how bad the team's concentration levels are. What do you think that has down to? I believe that's down to the way the team is training, says Dimitri. Has Rashford really been that much worse than everyone else? This is just targeting him. He hasn't been good enough from him, but come on now, says Moses. But Moses, you've answered the question there. You can't put Marcus Rashford in the same category as Reguilon or Christian Eriksen or Pellistri or Højlund. That's the whole point of giving someone 350k a week. They are, Ronaldo's, Messi's, Neymar's, De Bruyne's, Salah's. You get the big bucks. You've completely answered the question, Moses. You can't compare Rashford to the rest of the team because he's on the big books. He's meant to be the star. You can't say, well, Rashford's not played any worse than Eriksen. Eriksen's not on 350k a week and meant to be the star player. Unfortunately, with the money comes great responsibility. So I think criticism of Rashford is absolutely right. We need more from him. He's not Pellistri, a young player who may or may not make it at Man United. He's Man United's star player, and he needs to lead and he needs to play better. Rashford's body language is that of someone who's already given up. He got paid and can't be bothered, says Dimitri. Well, I disagree with that. I still think he'll come good, but he needs to win that battle again. Jake says, if I was Højlund, I'd leave in January. Let the kid save his career before it's ruined, says Jake. Rashford needs to be dropped. Greedy. Garnacho has to have his go. Højlund knows where the net is. Feed him the ball, for crying out loud, says Ben. And Mark, really, I don't really get what's going on with the Casemiro. I don't want to say he's fallen off a cliff, but it's shocking. I don't think Casemiro's been that bad today. And I still think that was a penalty. No, he does get the ball and not the player. I mean, I tell you what, if he'd given a penalty, it might have been a penalty. In fairness, he does get the ball. It goes through the back of him, though. But that's why, half time they show us the replay. Half time. I hate this so much, not being funny. Surely Bruno as an 8 has got to be better with the legs in the midfield, says Charlie Kofi. Well, the players are coming back out now. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner to get involved. Worrying times for Manchester United. We need to find a way back here. I don't think we can find a way back. So I think what we need to do is find a performance in the second half that we can take into Saturday night against Burnley. But referee's about to say, let's go for the second half. Scholes said that Marcus looks a real threat. Well, we know what our ex-players' mentality is. It's protect the British players and slam the foreign players, isn't it? It seems. I'm still believing in my team and my manager, says Mohit. By the way, why is Reguilon the only one picking Onana up and no one came for Reguilon when he got clipped, says Hoang. And Garnacho and Rashford off. Not sure how you fix the midfield, says Nasha. I'm putting a statement out. These players emotionally abuse me constantly, says Neng. Oh, Pellistri, that ball was for Delo. I think even there, Lamer, Rashford could go physical on him and be more into him. That's better. Imagine a Højlund hat-trick. I think there's more chance of me scoring a hat-trick in this game, and I wouldn't be able to get there in time. Didn't Van Dijk get a red for a similar tackle, says Drexel? Lamer at right back is just should be Rashford on toast. Like, he should have him on toast. Rashford is a purple patch player at the moment. He needs a lot more consistency in his games. His Cammy. If I'm Ten Hag, I'm like, Pelistri's got the beating of Davies, and Rashford's got the beating of Lema, and we've just not created them situations. At least there are loads of goalkeepers on the bench. Is Eric Ten Hag trying to make a point? Yeah, the point is, Rory, we did it a lot last year. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench a lot last year because we don't have a very big squad. Rashford needs to be humbled and dropped, says it's Mark. Yeah, but you know what? Player power. Can he afford to drop Rashford when Sancho's out in the cold, Maguire's out in the cold? I mean, can he really afford to do that? I don't think he can. Giovanni, thank you very much. Here's Bruno. Not quick enough. Kim Min-jae clears it. Ain't winning nothing big with Bruno and Rashford. They lack composure. And it's an essential trait to have as an elite player, says TT. Maybe you could do your player ratings later on in the second half for the match reaction. Reguilon whipping crosses into the box. I mean, I like it, but it's not. I'm not used to it. Is Rashford? Come on. Oh, goal, Rasmus! Get in! 2-1 to Manchester United. He is there. Rasmus. He will not have that one taken away from him. He didn't hit it that hard. I think it might have took a bit of deflection, but they all count like a fish in their net. That's supper. Get in. Lovely goal. Casemiro plays the ball. Lovely pass by Rashford. And it's not clean by Højlund, but it's clever by Rashford. He shoots through the legs, bit of a deflection. Get in. That'll do. Lovely stuff. Manchester United back in it. And an assist for Rashford. That's what we want to see from Rashi. That's what we want to see. No thinking about it. Simple pass. Ericsson, don't get stuck on it. Oh, Ericsson. He's waved on. Oh, it's a 3v2. Don't concede straight after scoring. Oh, God, we got lucky. Corner. It's amazing how that happens to us, isn't it? We're so lucky that it's not a goal for them after scoring ourselves. Ericsson's fine going forward defensively, you know. It's like my auntie's house. From the front, it looks great, but at the back, it's just overgrown and full of dog shit. Come on, United. I'd actually be happy if we just dug in for 5 minutes here. Rasmus, come on. Oh, if that's a penalty. If they give a penalty for this. Corner. If they're going to give a penalty for that, it's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty. You know what pisses me off, though? That wouldn't be a penalty. That's never a penalty in the Prem. Yeah, he's going to give it. That's look. I actually think it is a penalty. I think it is a penalty, but in the Premier League they don't get given. So we as English fans get confused. That wouldn't be a penalty in the Prem. You know it wouldn't get given. Yeah, he's gonna give it. He's gonna give it. I think I you know what? As much as I'd love to say no, I think it is a penalty. I'd want that. But in the Premier League, they don't get given. Yeah, 3-1. Fuck off, you prick. Look at your run's rubbish, mate. What are you doing with your run? Your bloody heels are nearly kicking your arse. It's the crappiest run I've ever seen. I think it's a penalty. I'm not. You can't even get me. But in the Premier League, they don't get given. Look at fucking Romero for Man United. They don't get given in the Premier League. You don't get penalties for that in the Premier League. So everyone who's saying it's not a penalty, you're absolutely correct. But that's only because the Premier League is shit and we don't give penalties for that. I think it is a penalty. I think that should be a penalty. But in the Premier League, they don't get given. Romero waving a fucking taxi. No, it's natural. So I think it is a penalty. But in the Premier League, it wouldn't get given. Harry Kane. Well, this is a goal. Here we go. Harry Kane. Look, watch him. Yeah, never in doubt. Ronnie Pickering FC. The paracetamol's not working. Fucking pricks. Pisses me right off. Yeah, very good penalty. There's no way Onana's saving that. He does go the right way, but it's bottom corner and power. Haaland's better than you. You bloody wish, Haaland. You Poundland B-Tech, Haaland. I'm sorry, but we're just desperately unlucky with the goals we concede and the VAR calls. It's trash, says Jefferson. Ain't winning. Well, look, as I said, for me, I can't even get outrageous. I think that I would want a penalty for that. To me, it's exactly the same as Romero. When we played them. In fact, Romero's was more of a handball than that. But in the Premier League, we have shit officiating. And in the Premier League, that wouldn't have been a penalty. So, it's typical United. I mean, let's just have a look at the stats here. United score on the 49th minute and they score in the 53rd minute. As soon as we score, we concede. Just because Eriksen lost the ball in the attack, says Mark. Yeah, great point. Great point. They nearly scored just before that. Never a penalty. People raise their arms when they jump every time, and that is what happens, says Jacob. Oh my God. What the fuck is Onana doing there? Does he dive for shots or what? Like, what the fuck is he doing there? They've just hit the post. He's like a bag of cement. Like, why is he not diving for that? Eriksen losing the ball in the midfield and not putting a foot back is just terrible. Take a foul there and reset, says Floyd. The handball I can forgive, but the whole situation emerged from Eriksen getting caught dwindling on the ball. That's a big error. Andrew, Eriksen's costing us a lot of goals. He's costing us a lot of goals this season. I don't understand. I'd like to see that again there. Look, Sane, Reguilon, bless him, he's shit defensively. He's good going forward, but he's shit defensively. And people need to wake up to that, because I see a lot of people going, Reguilon's really good. He's shit defensively. Like, he is absolutely crap defensively. But he gets beat there. Sane's in. Pass shot, hits the post. Keeper doesn't even bloody dive. He doesn't seem to be able to get down, does he? He doesn't seem to be very quick at getting down with his dives. Sometimes he doesn't even bloody bother. It's playing like me with a bad back. Oh, I'm not going for those. It's too low. Ericsson is a bag of cement as well, says James. Any good cement manufacturers, they make a good sponsor. This is it now, though. We are fucked. You know, can I just... It's like UK Gold repeats. Remember what I said? Played well for 20 minutes, 25 minutes first half, concede a goal, give up. Come out in the second half, get a goal, they score a goal, give up. Henry VIII FC. See what I mean? What's he doing with his foot? What is he doing with his foot, Onana, here? Yeah, this could be 5-6-1, the way this is going. There's still 40 minutes to go, and they are absolutely peppering us. Onana reflexes aren't very good, says Samlet. At the moment, he's got the reflexes of a kangaroo with no arms. Onana reminds me of when Pep signed Claudio Bravo. Difference is Pep had the backing again to buy another replacement, says Reese. Mark, I've been watching your show for almost a year. Thanks for all your hard work, says Wackass. Thank you very much. And since Klopp moaned about United's penalties when Ollie was manager, it's fashionable to not give United any decisions, says Ash. No Ollie to scapegoat, says Rash. Mate, you're not welcome here. And Romero was not a handball, but that is robbed, says Josh. Mate, look, this is the Champions League. That is the Premier League. If you want to clip anything up, clip this up. In the Premier League, that's not a handball, what Ericsson did. But in Europe, it is. And that's the big difference. It happened to us last year. Was it against Sociedad? Somebody had a shot. Martinez blocked it with his knee, and it flicked up onto his arm, and they gave a handball. Because in Europe, if it hits your hand, they will give a penalty. I'd rather we did what Europe does. But in the Premier League, we have a stupid rule where if it hits your hand, it's not a penalty. So I agree with that Ericsson penalty. You know, it's weird for me to say it, but I actually think that is a penalty. The same as Romero's was for us. But in the Premier League, they don't fucking give them. In Europe, if it hits your hand, 9 times out of 10, they give it. But so I agree with the penalty. The problem is, the Premier League officiating is wank. We need more Steel players. Maino will be pivotal, says Christopher. God, I miss De Gea, says Anthony Jury. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Player ratings, match reaction, and Beth is going to be on the receiving end of some very stern Onana criticism in the fan forum tonight. She used to love giving it out to De Gea. Well, she's going to have to put up with some De Gea. Oh, Rashford again. Would have been another assist. Reguilon shoots wide. That's better. You know, that's better from Rashford. I mean, I would say that. How do every team we play against ping the ball around like there's no opposition? I don't know what to expect from the season. It's over. You know why, Sheehan? Because we've got no midfield. It's too slow. Our midfield is too slow. Ericsson is easy to play through. Bruno is easy to play through. And Casemiro is one guy. I'm telling you now, it's not going to help us tonight, and it might not even help us against Burnley. But as soon as Amrabat plays next to Casemiro, you will see a massive difference in relation to energy and speed. Still half an hour to go here. Is there a way back for Manchester United? Yeah. Munich Airport. Flight to Manchester. Because I don't think it's going to get any better. 3-1 down. I don't see a way back. As I said, I would take this result now. We're only 10 subscribers away from 740,000, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on buying sub-keeper, says Joe. And how do you have so much patience every day you keep coming back? I take my hat off to you, says Mitch. You know what, Mitch? I probably have been a little bit more calmer than I was against Brighton because for the first time, I mean, I even said we'd win the FA Cup final against Man City. So I always predict United to win. But I actually, when I did the preview the other day, I said we'd lose. Here we go. This could be 4. Harry Kane. Oh, he's made a save there. You know what? It's a little bit like when I was managing the Sidemen charity game in both years. Every shot I felt was going to go in. And I feel exactly like I did in the Sidemen charity game. In fact, you could argue that XQC or Cal the Dragon would be a better goalkeeper than Onana tonight. But he's made a save there. Martinez getting a bit angry. Bruno telling him to push away. I mean, there's nothing in that. Why did he get booked for shoving Kane there? I like a bit of passion. I like it. I like it. I ain't never going to knock a bit of passion. Come on. At least I get to celebrate something. Cal the Dragon would carry Man United to sleeping Zed. He did very well against me when we did our video on That's Football. But you know what? Sometimes with experience comes knowledge. And turning off in 10 minutes unless Garnacho comes on, says Tooney. Sometimes with experience comes knowledge. And I'm old enough to remember when Schmeichel left. Schmeichel retired and it took us years to sort it out. We self-inflicted this goalkeeper thing. And I think Onana hopefully will work out in time. But nobody wanted to listen to replacing Man United's goalkeeper ain't an easy thing to do. Being a Man United goalkeeper ain't like being a Norwich goalkeeper. There's huge responsibility and pressure. And it's not for everybody. So to replace a goalkeeper that wasn't terrible, that had just won the bloody Golden Glove, it was always going to be transitional. Bloody hell. Sane's just whacked a shot straight at him and he palms it straight. I mean, that's just lack of confidence. Look at this Sane shot. Why is he palming it straight in front of him? That's got to be going over the bar or the other way. That's bad. Palming it straight into that area. Imagine United if Eric got all the players he wanted, says Hugo. And is Beth allowed not to read Onana super chat, says Marcus. You can get your super chats in about Onana or your normal chats. I would urge you to do it. I said it though. I said it on Monday. I said it on Tuesday. I'll say it today. Our season starts on Saturday night against Burnley. I mean, I never expected anything here today, and I would take this 3-1 now and end it. My fear is that it becomes a lot more. I mean, look at that. Bruno and Ericsson just playing bad passes. Kim Min-jae just dominating Eric. I mean, put McTominay on for a bit of passion now. Go on, Hoyland. At least he's showing a bit of pace. I bet De Gea's laughing now. I never got the Onana hype in the first place, says Gary. Koeman is going to bend our tied defenders over, says Jawad. He's got nearly half an hour to do it as well. In fairness, if I can find a positive, we've scored a legit goal. Penalty was very lucky for them, although it was a penalty. And the Onana goal was ridiculously lucky. So, we've conceded 2 very, very silly goals. But you make your own luck, don't you? It's about fighting back. And I just fear there's going to be more goals. Because I think the heads have gone. What the fuck? I mean, I've seen too many passes from Ericsson and Bruno tonight that are literally just hit and hope. They're not actually hitting them with any, you know, they're not scanning before they hit the pass. They're just hitting areas. Every time I watch Eriksen, he gets bullied. Well, McTominay is coming on off the ball, always pulls out of 50-50s. I mean, Ben, this has to happen, Ben. It has to be Eriksen for McTominay. I mean, I hate to say it, but it does. HJ says, look at the bench. It's not Champions League. Well, look, nobody wants to be making this sub. Bayern Munich have just took off Gnabry for Kingsley Coman. We're going to take off Eriksen, who's been terrible, for Scott McTominay. Get Ganacho on, says Sam. I don't ever want to see Eriksen play 8 again. Replace him with Amrabat, says Spencer. Well, I'm sure Ricky on the fan forum is going to be in a very much an I told you so mood. Harry Kane shoots because we're just standing off. See Eriksen again, he's just blindly hitting an area. Hi from Australia. Would you say Man United was better under Jose? I think they were better defensively. I think that's so reactionary because Eriksen for McTominay, yeah. I think that's so reactionary because we're 5 games into the season and last season we were better than Jose. Mark, surely Ten Hag must stand and be countered. A lot of our player issues are his signings. Onana's worrying me. I'm not Ronaldo FC, but I think history will look back on the situation as the canary in the coal mine, says Kevin. Look, I would have kept De Gea. Everybody knows that. But what I will say in defence about the goalkeeping situation is that I knew 100% that the goalkeeper was never going to come in and play flawlessly from day one. It just doesn't happen. It takes time. One mistake can change a game like this, says Shahin. Yeah, and we've made 2. I think Bruno's gone to number 8 and McTominay's gone to number 10. That's my reading of that. Bruno seems to have gone deeper. White flag subbed on to Stephen. At the end of the day, at least McTominay might be a bit physical. I know he's not very good, but he gives us a bit of physicality. I don't like McTominay playing high up the pitch. I don't know why we're doing that, but bringing McSauce on in a game like this is embarrassing. On a positive note, Reguilon has looked really good. Says no, I disagree, Blake. I disagree. Dave Save, says David. I think people are being fooled by my auntie's house again. The front garden is great, but the back is full of shit and overgrown. Reguilon has been done on toast defensively so many times. He's lost his player so many times. But because he's put work in and gone forward and put good crosses in, you know, is that Man United standard? A left back that's good going forward but crap defensively? No, I don't want to get on Reguilon's back. He's been one of our better players, but defensively he's been a bloody nightmare. Just feel like we're really unlucky tonight, says Nicholas. Everyone's forgetting that this is the hardest game in our group. Look, Nicholas, I won't be very happy with it. I think the big talking points, if we can keep it to this score, I'll take it. It's not good enough, but I'll take it. I just don't want it to become 4, 5 or 6. But the big talking points will be Eriksen's performance again as a number 8. I don't think he's a number 8. I've never thought he was a number 8. Onana's performance. But, you know, our season starts on Saturday night. You lose that one, and I'm nervous about Saturday. We've got to win that. It's almost like Erik Ten Hag is trying to prove a point to the board that some of these players are not good enough, says Justin. I don't think Erik Ten Hag's trying to prove a point to the board at all. I think Erik Ten Hag is picking the players he's got to pick. Like, it's not like he's purposely bringing Scott McTominay on or playing this back four, he really doesn't have any options. I mean, Darren Bent described this Man United defence as disgusting. Like, Johnny Evans is the only other defender we've got. I'm just looking on the One Football app at all the individual stats of our players. Shocking. I mean, you've got the overall stats. You can download One Football for free. Links in the video description, or scan the QR code right there. It will give you the individual player stats. And I mean, if I get time, I might go through some of these. But it's shocking. It really is. Absolutely shocking. You can do your player ratings, by the way. I'm going to probably put them up in about 5 minutes. It might be a little bit early here. Jacko, thank you very much for your super chat. Onana has better start than Alisson had, says Petter. Look, I'm not going to turn on Onana. He's made some big mistakes this season, I think. But, you know, I've been here before with goalkeepers. It takes... De Gea at the start made mistakes. After Schmeichel, we had years of mistakes. Bartes, Bosnich... It might not even work out for Onana, but I fully expected there to be some transition. How do you justify that he is seeing what we are seeing without changing until now? I like Ten Hag, but this is nonsense, as Fahad. I think what I would disagree with here is that we've got a game on Saturday night and we're keeping players on like Rashford, like Pellistri, and like Højlund, who really need to... you need to be thinking about Martial. You know, you need to be thinking about Garnacho, because Burnley away is a massive game. Højlund is such a breath of fresh air in the attack. Even when he takes a bad touch, he still finds a pass and turns like lightning, says DJ. Look, one of the big positives, there's not been many. Højlund scored his first goal for Man United. Casemiro lost in possession there. McTominay terrible on the ball. That's why he's playing higher. Bruno can control it when he gets it, says Alan Kenny. Well, Casemiro lost the ball here. There's too much space. Hi, Mark. What's one thing you would change tactically or personnel with the team for us to win or draw tonight? Says Blake. What a great question. What would I change tonight? Fucking hell. I mean, this is what I mean. This is why when you concede the goal that Onana concedes and when Eriksen puts that handball on it, I know we're fucked. So... But as a player, you can't have that mentality. You've got to take yourself up a level. We're just fans. We know we're fucked. You can't make those mistakes because there's not really any changes you can make. Garnacho needs to come on because he's a flair player. You've got to find a way for Garnacho to come on. In the midfield, you can only bring McTominay on. I don't think it's fair to bring on Mabry or Gore. Defensively, you've only got Johnny Evans. So in fairness, substitutes-wise... I can't make a defensive change because Johnny Evans is no good. I can't really make a midfield change unless I have to, and I have to because Eriksen's been crap, so I bring McTominay on. You've got to go with the attack. You've got Martial, you've got Garnacho. You've got to take somebody off, whether it be Pellistri or Rashford or Højlund. You've got to take someone off. For me, I would have given Garnacho 10 minutes ago. I'd have got Garnacho on for either Rashford or Pellistri. I don't think it makes maybe it makes a difference. I don't know. But I would have done it. I think the sad part is Bayern haven't even been that great and we can't even capitalise, as Wayne. And I hope you're well, Mark. Is it me or did Martial only start picking up injuries when he stopped playing on the wing? Says Dark Mike Music Group. Look, call me stupid. Many people have. I actually think if we can get Varane back, Amrabat integrated, Mount back, Anthony back... Luke Shaw back, Wan-Bissaka back. By the time we play Bayern Munich in December, I think we could beat them at Old Trafford. But you can't be making them. You can't make mistakes like this. You know, Bayern Munich are like Man City. They're like Arsenal. They're like Liverpool. They're like Real Madrid. You can't give up goals like that. Lamer's just bullied. Oh, this is going to be embarrassing. Great tackle. There's that Delo. Great tackle. That would have been a goal. Come on, lads. You've got to fight for this now. This is what we didn't do at Anfield. I know you've lost, but 3-1's a lot better than 5-1. Like, you've got to fight for everything now. We miss Fred, says King Louis. Well, yeah, I don't disagree. Get Garnacho on for Rashford. Upamecano has him in his pocket all night, says Phil. And Mark Reguilon is positive. Your technical abilities can be coached and improved, but not your mentality, says Musk. The form of Casemiro is closely linked with our fortunes. He's been the game changer both ways, says Simon Eric. Oh, watch out here. Harry Kane against Martinez. Martinez needs to go tight. It's only Harry Kane. He's not fast. Got the block in. Close him down. Oh, what? I think that's a good save by Onana. Choupo-Moting. Yeah, that's a better save. Better save. Bayern showing us why we need Kim Min-jae, says Ray. Yeah. Rashford is lazy. No help off the ball whatsoever, says Michael. And where are the subs, says Slat. Well, again, I don't know why he's not making subs. We've got a big game on Saturday. My worry from last season, we don't score enough goals, so when we go down, we're screwed, says Kate. Mate, look, you've nailed it. Like, we've never scored lots of goals, but we defended well last year. We now don't defend well, so we're going to be trouble. Michael Ward says Rashford's no help at all off the ball. He's got for some reason he's got an attitude problem, and I don't understand why. You know, you're meant to be the leader of the team, and he just seems to be moody, really moody tonight, and I don't know why. It's the Champions League. We weren't in it last year. You want to be one of the best players in the world. Tomley slips, great. Front post, and Arna's got it. Seem to have no fight this season at all. It's getting embarrassing, says Bradley. I'm going to whack the link in the video description for the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's in the video description for you, and I'll put it. Hold on a minute. They're definitely going to score. They're definitely going to score. Like, they are, time and time again, they're just getting into our penalty box. They're definitely going to score. Martial and Garnacho at last. I bet it's Højlund and I bet it's Pellistri. How much do you want to bet? Højlund, yep. I told you. Yeah, Pellistri. What a fucking surprise. What a surprise. I've got to put a tweet out. I'm tired of this. I just think it sends the wrong message. I really do. I don't think Rashford's attitude tonight has been good enough. And again, he just gets to stay on the pitch again, doesn't he? It's just there's no accountability. Look, I sort of get it. You know, do you want to piss Rashford off? Obviously not. Rashi's been the most positive out yet. All I hear is toxic. Says Tevin. Well, that's just an opinion, Tevin. I don't, you know, I don't. Here we go. Oh, McTominay needs to take his fucking plimsolls off. If he didn't slip there, he's got a shot. What is he wearing on his feet? I've seen he's fucking slipping like he's Bambi on ice. God. If I was Rashford, why would I want to try harder when I'm playing 90 minutes every game, regardless, says Shahin. Jacko, thanks for your super chat. Well, we've only got 8 minutes. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Which Bayern player are you most impressed with, says MKB. I'm terrible at this, mate. I'm really bad at assessing the opposition when Man United play. If I'm watching Chelsea-Liverpool, I'll tell you everything about both teams. But when it's my team, I can't focus on the opposition in the sense of... Oh, good save. I can't focus on it. I can't tell you who's played well for them because I'm so focused on the player that's made our mistakes. A lot of people saying Musiala. I mean, I like Sane. I liked Sane at Manchester City. I do like Sane, but you know, Kim Min Jae's played well for them. Here's a ball. Rashford's playing off the right now. Good cross. Garnacho on the back post. Oh, here we go. Les says, I'm a Liverpool supporter and I genuinely feel sorry for you. You know you're in trouble when Liverpool fans are feeling sorry for you. 100% you know you're in trouble. Your analysis about Raya and Ramsdale was spot on. Interesting who gets picked for the North London derby. I think it might be Raya. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to wander off, but I did say that you don't bring Raya in without playing him in goal. The English media are outraged because obviously it's an English goalkeeper being replaced by a foreign goalkeeper. And as we know, they don't like that. Ramsdale will be furious, but, you know, I never believed 1 minute that Arteta was going to keep swapping his goalkeepers. And I presume Raya, if he's got a clean sheet again, will be in goal for the North London derby. Otherwise, what, you know, why not? I think we need to piss Rashford off. Maybe he will learn to work, says Weston. And I'm clinging on to the hope that our stock drops so much that the penny finally drops with the Glazers and they sell, says Red Since. And what will it take to turn this bad run of form around, says Chiri. I think we'll start turning it around on Saturday, mate. I never thought we were going to turn it around tonight. Defensively, we're not good enough and we don't score enough goals. We're not dangerous enough on the attack every time Bayern has the ball. I think they're going to score. Here's Sane. Played well today. Casemiro with the tackle. I mean, let's just not concede again. Opinions on the season as a whole so far, Mark, says Bradley. Pretty shit. Klopp subs Salah and makes examples out of him and he's the best winger in the league. The amount of times I've seen Salah come off for Liverpool with 20 minutes to go, banging his boots on the chair, pissed off. And then the next game he plays really, really well. Hargraves says at 83 minutes, that's better. Literally, Man United need to realise how pathetic we think they are, says PK. Liverpool fans feeling sorry for us, but in Europa League, and we have so many starting players missing, says Desert. Let's not get into an argument with Liverpool fans. They're on a different level to us this season. We can't win that battle at the moment. Decisions like this, keeping Rashford on the field, will make Ten Hag doubt his tactics. How can he still be on the pitch? It's outrageous, says Nitro. And can we blame the Glazers for this, Mark, says Poppy? Well, look, uneducated people don't understand what Man United fans are talking about when they blame the Glazers. And if you don't want to listen, you're never going to understand it. Because what people will say is, you can't blame the Glazers for Onana not being able to save a shot. You can't blame the Glazers for being outclassed in Munich. But actually you can, because the club is rotten from the top to the bottom. And if we didn't have the Glazers in charge, we probably would have Kim Min-jae playing for us instead of Bayern, and we'd be a better team. If we didn't have the Glazers in charge, we'd have a better stadium. We'd have better infrastructure. We wouldn't be in this position with these players if the Glazers weren't in charge. So of course the Glazers are ultimately totally responsible for what United have become over the last decade, and only a fool can't figure that out. But if you want to get really individualistic on this game in specifically, we've lost this game because Onana made a mistake and Eriksen gave a handball away. Don't blame the players or Ten Hag. Look at the bench. Look at the overplayed players who are not motivated. It's on the Glazers, says Reeves. Rashford missing. Onana shits it up. And look, not with us yet again. I'm going to buy some bundles of sage and light them. We'll send some to you, Mark, says Gummy. Well, look, it might surprise a few people, but it's literally gone the way I thought it would go. I said 2-0 to Bayern, 3-1, 2-goal gap. Onana has made a worldie this season. Hasn't made a worldie this season. That's worrying. Here's Rashford. Come on. Into RCL. Good play. Into Rashford. Into Garnacho. Come on. Pass, pass, pass. Oh, I tell you what. That was a goal. Oh, it's a goal. 3-2. Get the ball. Get the ball. I tell you what, that was good play from Manchester United. That was good play. They pinged it around. Rashford, Martial, Garnacho, Bruno. It was good play, and Casemiro got a little bit of luck. He got a little bit of luck. Bruno, Rashford, Martial, Casemiro. Yeah, good goal. Get in. Good goal, that. Was a good goal. Right. Much better. You know, these things can make such a difference. Even if we lose 3-2, it can give us such a difference. PK says, on the overlap with Neville, Rashford says he never watches games back because he doesn't like looking at the past. Is that a sign of arrogance? I didn't watch that episode of The Overlap. I don't normally watch any episode of The Overlap, if I'm being honest. But my advice to any footballer would be that if you're not watching your previous performances, then you're not learning. That's our best final third play all season. I liked it. You know, and actually, Rashford did well in that. And why did he do well in that? He's rolling it back with Martial. It was a nice little bit of combination play. Right. Is there any way back for Manchester United here? Could we get what would be an awesome draw? It really will depend on how long the referee's going to hand on. He's given a foul. Whip it in, Bruno. Whip it in. Right in on the keeper. Right in on the keeper. He doesn't like to catch. Oh. As you can tell, nothing happened. Is it Fergie time, Mark? Says Pop. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, Poppy. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Casemiro. Into Bruno. Nice. Oh, for fuck's sake. Snooze, you lose. What are they doing there? They're both thinking the ball's going to them, and now we're caught on the break. Don't concede after scoring again. Oh, they've hit the post, Bayern. Oh my God. We can't defend. We are absolutely terrible when we score a goal. When we score a goal, we are bloody terrible. Bayern have just hit the post. Where's the marking? Fuck off! Jesus Christ, mate! I can't believe it! We've bloody conceded again! You couldn't write it! Every time we score, we let somebody else score at the other end. Fucking idiots! Absolute jokers! We're defending like garden gnomes on sleeping pills. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. Concrete bags of cement. In fact, worse than that. Slower. Switched off. Concentration like a sloth. Like a dead sloth. Whose last meal was a concrete pancake. So slow. So fucking slow. How do we do that? How do we do that every bloody time? Every time. Every goal we score at the moment, we concede within 2 or 3 minutes. Well, I was going to give the title of the video for my match reaction Mistakes FC. I'm changing it. I'm changing it to fucking Shambles FC. Because that's a shambles. An absolute shambles. Shambolic. It's shambolic how easy we are to score against after we've scored a goal. Here's Martial. Right, fullbacks have gone missing here. Lindelof has to go back to... it's over. It's over. Make sure you do your player ratings. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Don't forget, we've been sponsored by Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products. 20% off with the code TUS. Delivered to your door with free delivery. And obviously, after this, we're going to be straight into the match reaction. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. A very interesting one. United with a free kick here. Scott McGonaway. I forgot he was in the team, McTominay. I tell you what, Scott McTominay, he should ask for the Olympics to do a hide-and-seek competition. Goal! Bruno, 4-3. Straight from... I mean, it's just so annoying. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. You score 3 goals away from home and still lose. And it's Casemiro again. I mean, Casemiro scored 2 fucking goals here. I don't think Casemiro's played bad tonight. I said it before the goals. I don't think Casemiro's played badly. Oh, they might be cancelling it. Goal check. Oh, fuck off. You can swivel on that, ref. You can swivel on that. You may as well not. You may as well not give it. You may as well not give it because it's not going to make any bloody difference anyway. Oh, he's giving it. And he's blown the fucking whistle. God, just jog on. Jog on. You know what? You know what annoys me about that is that we've scored 3 goals away from home and we've still lost because we can't fucking defend without making stupid mistakes. I'd have took that before the game. I would have took 4-3. If somebody said to me, would you take 4-3? I'd have said, yeah, bloody love it. You know, I'll take that. I expect us to lose anyway. But 4-3, loads of positives to take from that. You know, 7-goal thriller. You can't moan about that. I'll take that. I'll have some of that. Lube me up. But you know what? I'd have rather we lost 1-0 than 4-3. I mean, it's just the volume of mistake. I look at Casemiro and I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him because I think, you know, he's scored 2 goals. He's played well. But we keep conceding the same goals. We don't mark people up in the box. You know, we've scored 3 legit goals and they've scored 2 jammy goals. And we've lost. We've had 40% possession. Oh, too many mistakes. Too many mistakes. Anyway, look, do the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll do that on the match reaction, and I'll see you over there in a minute. Lots to discuss about that game. Absolutely loads. And Casemiro's trying to talk to Onana. Look, the season starts on Saturday night for me, but let's talk about it in the match reaction.